You're listening to Veronica by Elizabeth Whitehead Jennings.
Part 1. Innocence Lost. Trigger warning. This chapter is written from the perspective of a perpetrator and includes psychologically disturbing but non-explicit depictions of sexual assault. This chapter is not necessary for plot continuity. Please skip to Chapter 5 if needed. Prioritize your emotional safety. Chapter 4. A predatory point of view. He wasn't supposed to be there, and he knew it. Eleanor had spelled it out just days before, her voice flat, cut glass clear. It's Veronica's night. Stay away from that girl. It's bad enough your brother spends so much time with her. He never listened to warnings like that. If anything, being told not to come only sharpened his resolve. So, when he swept into the Glen Ridge Grand Hotel suite, tuberose, citrus, designer everything, he carried himself like an honored guest, a fox among chickens and happy to play the part. He wore black, sleeves rolled, expensive tequila swinging at his side. Eyes flicked toward him, wondering, worrying, jealous. But he barely noticed any of them. He always noticed the girl. Veronica Carter, birthday girl, folding herself up by the door. He caught her eye, grinned. "I hear there's a birthday girl in need of adult supervision," he called, letting his arrival ring through the suite as he dropped the tequila and a sleek bag on the counter. She lifted her chin, not impressed in the slightest. "Let me guess. Eleanor sent you?" He tilted his head, let his mouth curl. "Yeah, something like that." He saw it straight away. She didn't buy it, not even for a second. She wanted him gone. The disbelief on her face sparked something quick and hot in him. That look, like he didn't belong, like he was some problem she'd inherited. She'd learn the truth soon enough. He moved behind the bar, taking over with practiced ease. Poured shots for the Glen Ridge kids, top shelf, of course. They cheered, eager to have him play the big man for their party. He scanned the crowd and saw Jeffrey, center of attention, arms slung around two guys, laughing too loud, nearly floating. Thomas couldn't stand how easy it all came to him, how Jeffrey could be exactly who he was and still be loved. With measured calm, he poured out a shot and handed it to his brother. "Birthday host privileges first," Thomas said, forcing a smile through gritted teeth. Jeffrey took it, grinning like always. "Thanks, Tommy. Finally you bring something decent to a party." Thomas's smile was all show. "Only the best for you, right?" He hated the spectacle, the affection, Jeffrey's softness, his queerness on full display. The more animosity Thomas harbored, the easier he disguised it with another round, another toast. "To Ronnie!" Jeffrey exclaimed. Thomas lifted his glass, echoing him, lips stretched into a performative cheer he didn't mean. His attention circled back to Veronica. He grabbed a bottle, matching her root beer, and approached. "This one's colder," he said, placing it in front of her with intent. "Better label job." She glanced at her half-drained bottle. "I've already got one." He pushed, still trying to charm her. "You sure? It's your party. You should relax." "I am relaxed," she shot back, eyes clear, tone flat. He felt her resistance like a slap. "Come on, Ronnie. Just one real drink. No one's gonna know." "No thanks," she repeated sharper. He set the bottle beside her, pretending he didn't care. "In case you change your mind." Her repeated refusals stung. She was supposed to be flattered. She was supposed to see what it meant for him to pay attention at all. He drifted back, seething. His pulse beat in his jaw. He slipped a hand into his pocket and felt the small tube of ketamine brought for himself, something to liven up a potentially dull night. He'd thought maybe a bump would take the edge off if things got too slow. Watching Veronica dismiss him, seeing her smile at everyone else while holding him at bay, a new idea started to form, sharp, sudden, and irresistible. If she wasn't going to unwind for him willingly, maybe she just needed a little help. He caught her in a distracted moment, uncapped her second bottle, and surreptitiously tipped in the powder. Swirled it just enough to dissolve. She didn't notice. No one noticed. The plan had changed. He watched from the periphery, eyes never leaving her hands. She finally took a drink. At first, nothing. Then, her body sagged, eyes slowed, her grip loosened on the bottle. He waited. When she tried to stand and failed, he was there, catching her with the speed of someone who'd played out this moment many times in his head. "Looks like someone had more than root beer," he called, projecting for the crowd. "I didn't," she mumbled, voice sticky and thick. Jeffrey didn't glance up once. Thomas looped an arm securely around her, feeling her dead weight. She tried to pull away, weakly, desperately. He addressed the crowd with forced cheer. "Don't worry, I've got her. She's just had too much." A handful of kids giggled. Nobody actually cared. He leaned in, lips brushing the shell of her ear. "Time for a birthday nap." She didn't resist. He steered her down the hallway, through the dual-entry bathroom, lemon air, cold mirror, blinding clean light, then out the other side into the off-limits bedroom. Shadows, candle wax, and tuberose heavy in the air. He set her on the bed, then slipped back into the bathroom, leaving the bedroom door open just enough for anyone glancing down the hall to see his shadow flit past. An alibi, the rhythm of normal movements. He let himself be seen, only as a shape, then returned to her and quietly closed the bedroom door, turning the lock. She was limp and dazed, nearly gone. He drew his shirt off, slow and deliberate, letting the lamplight fall across his bare back, the black dragon winding over his shoulder. He watched her eyes track the tattoo, her gaze snared. In that moment, powerless and transfixed, she looked at him the way he always imagined people should, captive, helpless, afraid. That, he savored. He knelt, savoring every second of her blank, distant stare. He lifted her hand, let it drop. She didn't move. He pulled her dress higher, relishing her inability to resist. With a practiced motion, he slipped off her blue cartoon print underwear, folding them into his pocket with a smug satisfaction, a souvenir that belonged to him alone. When it was over, he stood. Buttoned his shirt in the dark, checked the dim mirror in the bathroom, ran a hand through his hair. He paused. The suite was still full of music, laughter, another world that would never know what happened behind closed doors. He returned to the bedroom for one last look. Veronica lay on her back, dress bunched, staring at the ceiling, her eyes wide and empty, like she was floating miles above her body. He slipped her underwear deeper into his pocket, grinned at her emptiness, and left the room. The mask slid on with every step back into the blinding hotel light. On the surface, nothing had happened. Beneath it all, a boundary shattered, just because that's what Thomas did best.